Hey, Mrparka here to review the newest one from Sleaze box. It's not coming out yet. I mean, it's not out yet, but it is coming out. It's called Joe Vampire. It's directed by the same guy, I think, Sean Donohue, who did Die Die Delta Pi, which was a modern-day slasher film that's pretty decent. But Joe Vampire, let me get into this. It basically follows a vampire who is bitten during the Civil War, and he's struggling to survive in nowadays world. He doesn't really like the other vampires, and he kind of wants to do his own thing. He starts this odd relationship with a young woman who finds out he's a vampire and wants to be a vampire. Of course, it gets more complicated when people from his past start popping up, and a history is sort of on the table with him. Shaky history, and he obviously has some animosity towards the main vampire talking to him and everything like that, and starts to interfere with his woman. The film starts off with a Civil War reenactment. That's supposed to be a flashback. I thought that it was kind of obviously a Civil War reenactment, and I thought they should have just jumped right into him already bit, and I thought that was kind of effective. The one thing I will say about the movie is it's professionally shot pretty well, and it looks pretty good for the most part. Sometimes there's filters here and there to get night, but for the most part it all looked like all the shots were actually shot at night towards the beginning of the film downtown, and I was surprised that their lighting came out so good. The acting is like shaky a little bit. I can't really say if anyone is so vastly superior than anyone else. They kind of just are there. I wouldn't say it's amazingly great. There's a couple scenes of nudity here, but they almost seem out of place. They're fairly gratuitous boob shots in a strip joint and things like that. But the funny thing is, the movie kind of has like an interview with the vampire type storyline on a budget. The kind of the vampires in modern day and the turmoil and things like that. And the movie kind of just cuts off without much closure, I guess you'd say, or really an ending to me. It gets right to the climactic point, it's just kind of over with. My feelings towards the film are it's really bloody. The blood looks great, but there's not many special effects, to be honest. They got Marcus Cook on there doing the special effects, but there's not really any special effects to speak of. There's good blood, there's fangs and things like that, red contacts. It all looks good, but you would hope for some practical, nasty, skin-tearing stuff like that, which isn't here as well. So it kind of comes off as a low-budget version of Interview with a Vampire or something like that, with the acting's not as solid or anything like that. That's what I honestly felt about it. It is only an hour long, so it's not overly drawn out. It's not absolutely horrible. Like I said, it's shot nice. There's some professional-looking... it's a very professional-looking camera. I was impressed with the camera they used. And it's not all horrible. It's just not really up my alley kind of a vampire film that... doesn't really have gratuitous violence or anything like that, and a really great story or really well acted. So it's just kind of subpar to me. But like I said, there is a couple scenes of nudity in here, and it is shot nice. And some people may enjoy it. Really for vampire buffs only, and a lot of them probably aren't into like low budget movies because vampires are so popular the past years. I imagine people would be into the bigger kind of stuff. But if you like the vampire stuff that focuses more on a storyline, then check this one out. It's called Joe Vampire. Not all horrible, but just not my type of film. So it's up to you. Watch some of the clips, see if you'll enjoy it. I'm not a huge fan of this type of vampire film, to be honest, unless it has something extraordinarily special in it. But I'm Mrparka. Have a good one.
Troutman, what the hell are you doing here?
You know why I'm here. How come every month I gotta come down to this shithole and raise a ruckus? 'Cause some down in his luck piece of shit tenant, that'd be you, won't give me my rent when it's due.
Is it the first already?
It's the 10th. Do you know how many properties I have? In this city alone? 20. And I don't have a problem with any 20 of those tenants, except for you. Now am I gonna get my rent or what?
I'm sorry, man. Time just seems to get away from me.
Seems to get away from you. Are you gonna have my rent?
You'll have your money by Friday.
Friday. Plus late fees.
Yeah, you get your damn late fee.
Why are you wearing those sunglasses anyway? It's pitch black outside. Some kind of dope fiend?
I tell you the same thing every month. I'm in a Corey Hart tribute band.
Yeah, well you and Corey Hart are gonna be out on your ass if you don't pay my rent!
Get out of here.
Freaks.